Greetings, Earthians. It is time once again to turn your mental energies toward the infinity of the speed of thought. Travel beyond the edge of the known into the realm of weird science fantasy. The ship was from Earth, sleek and shining and proud, the most recent addition to the galactic exploration fleet. She had hurtled back and forth across the infinite void on this, her maiden voyage, probing into vast uncharted star systems, stopping at strange planets, carrying the men within her gleaming alloy hull on another futile search through the universe. Even now, as the greenish blob on her teleradar screen grew larger and larger, the men gathered before it shook their heads and shrugged.
It's no use, Captain. See, there's no artificial illumination specks in the dark side. Looks like another dud to me.
We'll take a look anyhow.
Why bother, Captain? What do we find? A few unintelligent BEMs? Why don't we give up and go home?
Because somewhere in this galaxy, somewhere, on some unexplored planet of some unexplored solar system, we're going to find a higher form of life than our own.
Yeah, they said that about Mars when the first rocket ship went there. They said then they'd find a more intelligent form of life than ours. But what did they find? Sand. Red sand and some strange foliage and a few sickly lizard-like things. And it's been that way ever since, wherever we went. I say man is the ultimate in the evolution of the life form, and Earth is the only planet that has it.
The captain smiled and turned to the teleradar screen. Perhaps you're right, Devers. Perhaps we'll never find anything better than man. But that's our job. To try.
Cripes, Captain, if there were a higher form of life than man, wouldn't we have known about it by now? Wouldn't they have evolved faster than us, developed space travel long before us, and come looking for us instead of us for them?
How do we know they didn't, Devers?
The captain's right, Devers. Remember reading about those flying saucer sightings way back in the middle 20th century? They were phonies and you know it. Once the Air Force exposed them, they were never sighted again.
Maybe they'd seen enough, Devers.
And maybe I've seen enough after shuttling all over creation for 4 years. I say man is the ultimate, and we ought to accept it.
Now entering grav field.
All right, boys, let's cool off and go lie down for a while. In our shock couches.
Very funny. Come on, Devers. In another 3 months, our tour is up and we start back. Let's just grin and bear it till then.
The men scurried about within the gleaming hull of the new ship, setting automatic controls, strapping in, readying themselves for another landing. Now an all too familiar experience.
Gyro on. Power plant on. Instrument landing control on.
Here we go. The green sphere swept upward at them. The ship swung gently, reversing her direction until she plunged, tail first, toward its alien surface. Then,
letting down. Rockets on and blasting.
She stood proudly, sleek and shining, in the center of the scorched area she'd burned into the alien planet's green terrain, the product of 1,000,000 years of man's evolution from the primitive. And the men inside her hull peered through the crystal ports and shook their heads.
No sign of life, not even a sickly Martian-type sand lizard.
The blue-gray cloud of rocket exhaust drifted off, breaking up into fine wisps as the gentle alien breeze fanned through it. Far away there was a deep rumble.
Listen, what's that?
Suddenly the ground beneath the ship began to tremble. The ship shook violently, throwing the men inside her to the alloy deck plates.
What the? Our landing must have set off a quake.
The tremors ceased. The ship stopped vibrating. The men got to their feet. All right, let's get into our suits and take our readings and get the blazes out of here.
What I'd like to find is a planet completely inhabited by women. Nothing but women.
They climbed from their ship one by one, the pinnacles of the evolutionary process. The men.
Cripes, not a tree or bush. Nothing but this green fuzz covering everything. It's soft underfoot, like a swamp that's almost dried up. No rocks, not even a pebble.
They crossed the spongy green plain and turned to study their ship standing like a silver monument to man's achievement.
What do you make of it, Captain? I mean, this planet.
Strange. Very strange. It's like walking on a...
Good Lord! Look!
The fuzzy green plain upon which they stood began to undulate, to ripple and flow as if it had suddenly turned to liquid.
The ship! It's being swallowed up!
It was as if a great mouth had opened below the silver metal giant. As the speechless epitomes of galactic life watched in horror, the ship sunk slowly below the flowing, quivering green surface of the plain. And when the ship had disappeared and the plane had stopped its sickening gyrations, these top rungs in the evolutionary ladder began to run like frightened rabbits to the spot where she had vanished so suddenly.
What'll we do? My God, we're trapped here. We'll all die!
They stood there helplessly, probing deep into the recesses of their highly developed brains, searching for the solution to their dilemma, trying to ferret out some long-forgotten information gathered through the evolutionary eons that could rescue them from their fate now.
Maybe the surface couldn't stand the weight.
If we could dig down and find her and get in, we might be able to blast out. They were like children frolicking in the sand of an earth beach, digging furiously with their hands.
If there were only a rock, a tree, so we could fashion shovels.
Shut up and dig. How much oxygen do you think we have? They tore into the soft green fuzz, ripping into the spongy surface of the planet, gouging out huge chunks of porous matter. And then...
Listen! Good Lord!
It's starting again. It was as if the soft ground beneath their feet just simply melted. They sunk, screaming, into the bilious depths beneath. Down, down into the green liquid darkness, twisting, turning.
We're done for! Oh, Lord, help us!
Look, there's the ship! The ship floated lazily below them in the green slime. They tried to swim toward it.
It's like some form of protoplasm. It's alive! It's holding us back!
Keep swimming! If we could get to our ship! Suddenly, the bilious depths rumbled. The liquid green darkness closed in around them, pressing.
It's crushing us! No, it's pushing!
They shot upward, these ultimate life forms, upward toward the fuzzy surface, exploding through it.
We're out! Thank God!
They fell back to the soft, spongy ground, unhurt. The ship came next.
Look!
Well, I'll be.
What a break!
The ship stood nearby, dripping green from its gleaming hull. The surface of the plain rumbled and undulated.
Shall we try to reach it?
Come on, we got nothing to lose. They scampered across the rippling, belching terrain and into the quivering ship.
Get ready for takeoff! Yeah, man! Power on!
The ship was from Earth, sleek and shining, the product of 1,000,000 years of brain work and body sweat. It roared upward from the green planet.
Whew, I thought we were goners, sure. We're mighty lucky. Had enough, Captain? Doesn't this convince you?
The captain stared at the greenish blob fading away on the teleradar screen. Yes, I'm convinced, Devers. Set course 90 degrees vertical, 70 degrees horizontal.
But that isn't the course for Earth, Captain.
That's outward. Further outward.
The captain nodded. I know, Devers. I said I was convinced.
But if you believe man is the ultimate form of life, why go on looking in vain?
I meant I was convinced that we'd find what we were looking for, Devers. I don't believe man is the ultimate form of evolutionary life now, and that planet convinced me.
That stinking swamp globe? How?
That stinking swamp globe, as you put it, was a living creature, Devers. A higher form of life than ours. Much higher. When Earth was flung from its sun and spun and cooled and simple life began to form in its seas, the life forms crawled out onto its surface to live like parasites. The dinosaur, the lizard, the bird, the fish evolved from that parasite life, fed upon its planet home. And man, when he evolved too, was a parasite living off the other parasites. The captain smiled at the disappearing blob on the dark screen. But on that planet, life evolved as an integral part of it, developed until the whole planet became one living, breathing life form, and turned to Lieutenant Devers. So forget about your ideas that man is the pinnacle of the evolutionary structure, Devers, because it's not true. And that planet knew it. It sensed it. That planet just subjected us all to the worst insult of our lives. The men studied their captain curiously.
Insult, Captain? How, Captain?
The ship hurtled through the black void toward her next objective. Inside, the captain's voice was just a whisper. That planet, gentlemen, just vomited us up. Once again, we return you to your pre-scheduled mundanity.